Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I've got a little behind on some of my reviews for my page, so I'm going to go back through and get those caught up. Thanks for watching. If you like the videos, be sure to like them and subscribe them. It helps me out on my end. I'm still just a little feller on the YouTube. But anyway, let's get on with this. This was January's knife of the month, all the way from the Ukraine. And this is a company that's called Beavercraft, and they make a lot of carving tools, so hook knives and carving knives and chisels and things like that. So it was in the beginning primarily a wood carving company. And they have branched off into the bushcraft world. This is the Glacier from their bushcraft line. Well, first things first, it came with a pretty decent sheath with it. It's, if you feel it, it feels like it is floppier than what you would want, but I used it, carried it every day for a month, and I had another one of my sheaths that I've done videos on before, a sheath pouch that I make. It rode on the front, and I was still able to go in and out with the knife no problem, and never cut out the side. I did cut a little bit on the top when I would reach back to try to put it in there, because this dude is sharp. But a decent sheath for what it is. The blade is very simple. It's 1066 high carbon steel, and it's got a good sharp spine on it. Have to look at that. It's got walnut scales on there, so the way these scales look, the other ones may not be identical, with grain patterns and stuff, so it's gonna make each one unique. But it's got a hex or Allen head bolts here that holds it together, 2 of those, and a lanyard tube. It's a Scandi grind, and when you get it, it's like chrome, super shiny. But I patinaed mine. There's a video on me forcing a patina on this specific knife on Instagram, and I think there's a video of how I done it on YouTube also, but I can't remember. I don't do that much on YouTube hardly. But the knife comes sharp, like right out of the box sharp, and I didn't have to hit it on the stone any for the month. I just kept it stropped, and it held a good edge. The edge geometry is really good on it. Overall, fit and finish is nice. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's no bells and whistles on this. I do like that handle. I like a barrel style handle on my knives, so this was actually really comfortable. There's not a bunch of finger grooves and stuff in it to try to make it, where you have to hold it in one specific way. You can do a reverse chest lever grip with this, no problem. It's comfortable all the way around, for me anyway. I was pretty impressed. The thing that I noticed immediately when I got it, and I think this knife is under 40 bucks, or right at 40 bucks. So what you're getting for $40 is what you're getting. The scales are not glued to the blade. That would, if you had to glue each one of these things and clean them up, that would add quite a bit of money to these things. So them not being glued is understandable. But when I was batoning this guy, the hardware got loose. like almost immediately. So I took it off. I cleaned up the blade itself on each side, just kind of scuffed it up, make sure it was clean. I used the 2-stage Gorilla Glue brand epoxy, and I just put a super thin layer on each side and put my hardware back in. I used red Loctite on my fasteners and just got it close and tightened it back down and let it dry. And I haven't had another issue with it. And I beat on it for the rest of the month, doing all of my normal stuff. No more problems. If you do have experience with knives, not just knife making, but general maintenance, that shouldn't be a problem, because all you do is take it apart and apply your epoxy and whatever adhesive that you want to use, and then just put it back together, and that remedied that problem. The only thing I would worry about batoning is with wooden scales. If you get it in a bind, so if you get it in something funky, you can possibly bust this off the scale right here or on the top. That's pretty common if you're whipping on these things pretty good with wooden scales. But all in all, a great knife. It was a pleasure to use. I used it the entire month of January. So there are 23 posts from January on my Instagram where I do most of my stuff. You can go back and check those out. You can watch the transformation of this guy from a squeaky clean, super shiny knife to this guy right here. But it's good. I mean, it's good. It performed very well. Phenomenal for a $40 knife, I'm going to say. But it's great. They make several different designs in this line. This was the only one that I got to use. They wanted to send me one to test out, so I said okay. So they sent me one to test, and it did good. I was really surprised about edge retention on it being 1066. It's really, I mean, super good for what it was. Really sharp. I mean, she's sharp, fellas, and holds a good edge too with just the help of a strop. But anyway, January's knife of the month was the Beavercraft Glacier. Check them out. Thanks, guys.